In this video, I'm going to go over my strategies for skinny guys to bulk up fast. But why should you take advice from me? Well, 5 years ago, I used to be very skinny, as you can see right here. And I used to do every single thing that I could do to avoid taking my shirt off. So in today's video, I'll share with you the exact strategies that helped me go from skinny to jacked super fast. So here's my complete guide for skinny guys to bulk up fast. But before we dive in, I just wanted to mention very quickly that if you're serious about transforming your physique and you want my exact blueprint, you can join the program. It's the first link in the description, where I directly work with you and help you to bulk up and achieve your dream body. So top link in the description, go check it out when you're ready. Let's do this right now. So first of all, we need to talk about eating, right? Because this is the most important part for the skinny guys. The training is also important, and some other stuff that I'm going to teach you inside of this video that nobody talks about on the internet. But the eating seems to be like the main pain point for us skinny guys, because to bulk up, you need to eat more. You need to eat more than you need, just like I'm telling you here. But we struggle with eating more because we have a low appetite. We don't feel like eating. We're not very hungry. Just like I can tell you, from me, I can stay, like for example, if I don't train, if I have a day of a rest day, for example, and I have some work to do and I don't eat in the morning, I can stay fasted, no problem, until like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. At 3 p.m. I start to get hungry, but I can literally stay fasted from the moment when I go to sleep to like next day at 2, 3 p.m. And you might actually relate to this, but I was still able to bulk up and to gain weight and to build muscle. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So don't worry, we're going to solve this problem today. A few tips here. First, you need to realize that you need to eat more than your body needs. And you, of course, understand this if you are a skinny guy with already the goal of bulking up and gaining weight and building muscle specifically. But how much more? Where general rule of thumb is anywhere from 250 to 350 calorie surplus. However, okay, how much is that on how much we need to eat basically, right, in order to achieve the surplus? Well, if you don't know how many calories you need to eat in order to add this surplus to, just use this formula. You're going to take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 15, and then to achieve the surplus, we're going to add 250 calories. And that's roughly how many calories you need to eat in order to start gaining weight from today. So just pause the video, do your calculation right now very fast. It's literally like 5 seconds, 10 seconds to do this calculation. And you're going to finally find how many calories you need to eat roughly to start with. But we're going to cover the next point, which is going to be the tracking. And I'm going to teach you right there some more important stuff that many people just forget about sharing with you, because most people in these videos online, they just send you with a link on an online calculator, calorie calculator, and they just tell you, okay, just do your calculation there, and then that's how much you need to eat, and that's it, boom. But they forget about tracking, and that's one thing that is going to directly impact your bulking journey. It's Marius from the future. Just a quick break. Inside of my bulking blueprint, which is in the top link in the description, I lay out exactly every single thing you need to know to be able to go from skinny to big. All my life work is inside of there. So if you're a serious guy like me who always wanted to build muscle and get big but never really able to do it properly, then this is absolutely perfect for you. You're going to be getting over 20 modules packed with information, as well as my one-on-one advice, so we can talk to each other directly. Click the top link in the description right now or when you're ready. But my tips that helped me achieve this. Here's the thing. This is what I did. I found 3 meals that I really like and are generally healthy. So here we're talking about, let's say, some kind of lean meat with whatever carbs that you like, some veggies in there, and some fruits, just to stay healthy. So a balanced diet, we're looking at a balanced diet. What I want you to eat is from all the food groups, right? You don't cut off fats, you don't cut off protein, you don't cut off carbs, or you don't cut off fruits or anything like that. You just eat a balanced diet, because we don't just want to get big, but also stay and maintain a healthy lifestyle and a healthy life. So find those 3 meals that are for you, that you really like, and then just eat those most of the days. If you can eat those every single day, that's absolutely perfect for you. If not, just eat them from time to time and most of the days, and maybe 1-2 days a week, maybe you eat something else. But stick to those because that's gonna make your life very, very easy. And then what I want you to do is in the evening have a bulking shake, and I'm gonna give you the recipe. I'm gonna tell it to you right now, but I'm probably also gonna put it inside of the description or the comments. So basically what you can add, the one that I drink every single evening, I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell it correctly. I don't know the grams, but I'm going to probably list it like I said. So I add about 250 milliliters of whole milk, right? With all high fat milk. And then I add 1 banana, then about 2 big tablespoons of peanut butter. If you add like 2 big tablespoons of peanut butter, you can probably say 3 small tablespoons, right? Like, you know, let's put it 2 big tablespoons of peanut butter, right? You go like this and then you put it, right? So you get more. 1 big tablespoon of honey, 1 cube of dark chocolate, and 1 scoop of protein. Maybe you can go with 2 scoops of protein, some ice, and that's pretty much it. That's the bulking shake. I counted this probably around 800 to 1000 calories. You can switch things whatever you want. If you add more things, it's gonna go more calories, right? So that's the idea. Boom. So that's that. But now also eat more high calorie foods. So when you think about these 3 meals that you really, really like, think of high calorie foods. And these are low volume and high calories. So imagine if I tell you to eat right now 1 salmon with some avocado and some rice with some olive oil on top of the rice, right? You could probably eat that and not be very, very full, or you'll be full, but you're gonna get a bunch of calories because the salmon is a fatty fish, a bunch of calories. The rice with olive oil, fat with carbs, a bunch of calories, and avocado, healthy fats, a bunch of calories. So you're gonna get a bunch of calories for a medium volume, right? But if I tell you to eat a bunch of chicken breast with just plain rice and some broccoli, you're gonna eat that. You're gonna feel like you've eaten a lot, but you didn't have a lot of calories. You didn't have a lot of calories, although you feel like you ate a lot. So the point here is to eat more low volume foods that don't really fill you up, but that give you a bunch of calories. So that's the idea behind it. And also that the thing that actually works very, very well for me is to set reminders for each meal, right? And basically 5 hours between each meal. I'm going to share with you my meal plan right now. So here's my meal plan that I currently follow. So about daily macros, about 150 grams of protein, and the other stuff I don't really count. I just count the protein and the calories. I don't count calories. I'm going to show you why I don't count calories. So meal number 1, about 8:30, 9 a.m., something like that, is going to be either 2 scoops of whey protein, some coffee, and some fruits, or some eggs, bread, and fruits. So you can see high protein, high carbs just before going to gym. And then we've got the meal 2, 1 p.m. after going to the gym post-workout. Some meat, some sauce, some pasta, and some fruit. Or if I don't have any meat, I'm just going to eat some pasta with the whey protein shake. And then meal 3, some soy, chicken, rice, grilled veggies, something like that, just to give you an idea. And meal number 4 is going to be the bulking shake that I told you about, homemade mass gainer shake or some protein ice cream, something like that. That's what helped me go from the first photo that I show to this physique right here. All right, let's talk about tracking. This is so important. So do you need to actually track calories? Well, I would say that you don't need to track calories. It is good if you do, but you don't really need. Why? Because if you do the other thing, that is much easier to track and is going to give you a lot of information, you don't really need to track your calories. Here's the thing, we're not preparing for a show. We just want to gain weight, build muscle, and make sure we eat a lot. So how to track your weight properly? Let me tell you something. If you know how much you weigh and how much you gain or know from 1 week to another, and you know roughly that you eat 3 meals and 1 bulking shake, do you need to track your calories if you want to gain more? Because you know how much you gain, If you want to gain more, just add something to the things that you already eat. So the idea is that we're going to track. This is what you want to do. You track your weight every single morning after using the toilet. So you don't drink and eat anything. Go naked on the scale, you weigh yourself and you write down the number. You continue to do that every single day. So 7 days out of 7. And at the end of the week, you're going to add all the numbers in order. Not add, just put them in order from the lowest to the highest. And then we're going to cut the first 3 and the last 3. And we're going to get only one number in the middle. That's the median number, right? We don't do the average, because with the average, if we add all of those things and then divide by 7, we actually include the outliers, the outlier numbers. So we don't want to do that. We just want to be as accurate as possible. That's why we do that. Once you do that, you find your median number. So median number from this week, and then you continue to repeat the process and you find your median number from next week. And you only compare median number from one week to another. How much should you gain to bulk up? Well, here's the thing. To achieve this, we want to gain about half a pound per week. If you eat in a surplus of 250 to 350 calories, you're going to be gaining around half a pound from week to week. So right now, if you don't track your calories, but you track your weight and you see if you gain from week to week, you gain half a pound, then keep eating what you're eating. Don't change a thing. But if you're not gaining half a pound, eat a little bit more until you start gaining half a pound from week to week. If you gain more than half a pound, just subtract something from your meal, right? That's my idea and that's my opinion, that you don't really need to track your calories, especially for us that we don't prepare for a show. We just want to get big, get massive, get muscles. That's my opinion right there. And that's what I do. You could try it. It's much easier than tracking all the calories like most people recommend. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about the training. Progressive overload is going to be your friend here. You need to give your body a reason to grow the muscles. So the way we're going to give that reason is by doing progressive overload. Every single week. This is how you progressive overload. Every single week or every 2 weeks, something like that. You either add 2 kilograms to all the exercises, or you add 2 reps, or you add 1 set. That's the simplest thing that I could teach you right now. Of course, there are going to be the nerds in the comments that there are actually more ways to progressive overload. You can train slower. I know all that stuff, right? I know. I have all the knowledge when it comes to this. But as a complete beginner, you don't need to know all that stuff. I'm just giving you what the steps in front of you right now. So just either focus on that or focus on that. In my opinion, start focusing on adding reps. When the reps goes, let's say after 15 reps or something like that, or the reps are too high, increase the weight, focus on good technique, things like that. Now, one thing to know, you won't be able to do it every single day. You won't be able to add all of these things every single day. So just try your best. Just try your best. And as long as you train to the point where you cannot do one more clean rep, you have to feel like, okay, if I need to get the next rep, I need to break the form. And if you just do that, you're doing the most things, right? You're doing most of the things right, and you're going to maximize muscle growth. Here's the thing. Another tip for you to keep in mind, and this is going to actually simplify a lot your training. Towards the end of every single set that you do, you should feel the target muscle pumped, burning, and weak. What does it mean, the target muscle? Well, when we do a bicep curl, the target muscle is going to be the bicep, right? So when you do the bicep curl, towards the end of the set, maybe the last 5 reps or so, you should feel a burning sensation in the biceps, not in the other muscle, but in the bicep, because it's the target muscle, the one that we want to grow. You should feel some weakness after the set. You should feel like, oh, my bicep is weak. And you should feel some pump after doing a couple of sets. That's what you should do. And another more bonus tip right here, train until the point where the bar or whatever you do starts to slow down. So if in the first, when you start the set, you can do like this. Towards the end of the set, where you stop doing the set, it should be more like very, very hard to lift the weight, right? Just do that, focus on that, and you are going to maximize. You're going to do a lot of the things right. let's talk about recovery, because I don't want to keep this video too long, because many of you maybe you don't have the time to watch 30-40 minutes. And if you want to have a more detailed guide, I post every single like 3-4 times a week. And if you're interested if you're interested in like those more detailed 40 minutes guides, I have them on my YouTube channel. So go on my channel and find those videos. Here, let's talk about recovery. If you want to sleep, what did I wrote here? Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So if you want to sleep a couple of more hours after your alarm goes off, so you wake up by your alarm and you feel like, okay, I would sleep like at least 3 more hours, then of course you need more sleep. But if you feel like, oh, I'm just lazy, I don't want to get out of the bed, it's very, very comfy, I'm not really tired, but I would just stay more in the bed, then you probably get enough sleep. You're just lazy, right? Just like me. So I don't sleep less than 7 hours, right? If you want to maximize growth, you don't sleep less than 7 hours. Why? Because the muscles actually grow while sleeping. Sleeping is your, I don't know, is your steroid. If you're natural and you're trying to build muscle, sleep is your steroid. If you sleep a lot, you're gonna gain a lot of muscles. The muscles recover and grow while sleeping. So make sure you sleep at least 7 hours. Cold room, dark as possible, and consistent going to sleep and wake up time is going to help you to get a good night's sleep. Also, if you have noises, if you're anxious and all that stuff, maybe try some meditation, do some things in order to calm you down and fall asleep. If you struggle to fall asleep, then there's probably some stress around, but figure those out and make sure you get and improve your sleep as much as possible. Now, just quickly want to show you how I look like when I followed BroSplit. I just looked something like this. And then when I changed it, I looked something like this. So I went from this to this. Here I've been training for a couple of years, but not doing the consistent and the important stuff, the specific things that I teach you inside of this video. But here's some good examples. You could try something like upper lower body twice a week. You could do something like full body 3 times a week, or you could do some push-pull legs, or a combination of these, which I used before. Now I had a period when I when I stopped lifting and I come back. I do a 3-day. I train 3 days a week currently. It's a combination. I've made it for me personally the way I like it. If you want to get access to it, it's in the top link in the description. But yeah, these are all good examples. If you're a complete beginner, I would definitely start with 2 days, 3 days a week, and then build it up from there. So I hope this video helped. See you soon.